Security expert who works for airports in the United States, and he joins us from our Washington newsroom now. Very good afternoon to you, sir, your time. I just wonder how much of that you might have heard from President Obama and the security measures he's now introduced, but the central questions remain, do they not? How did this man allegedly smuggle explosives onto a plane, and how did he get on the plane in the first place?
Well, I think that that lesson is not a new one because the nature of the attack that we witnessed a couple of days ago has great similarity to the Richard Reed tactic that was used to overcome the security checkpoint technology simply by using a device that does not contain any metallic elements in it and will allow to walk through the metal detection gate without being detected. This is a lesson that we failed to learn last time when we drew the conclusion that we can solve the problem by asking passengers to take off those shoes. Obviously, we now get a second chance to improve our conclusion drawing and understand, just as the President mentioned a few minutes ago, that we don't have a performance problem. What we have is a concept problem.
I wanted to ask you about that because you mentioned Richard Reed, the shoe bomber. The aviation security industry has traditionally been reactive, hasn't it? And these plots have been foiled more by accident than design. How does the aviation security industry become more proactive, if you will, and stop these things happening at all, rather than get to a situation where we have in the past, where plots have been foiled by a failure of their technology?
Well, it should recognize that the problem goes beyond our ability to deal with simply by use of detection technology. We, for too long, have abandoned or ignored the human factor in this struggle with terrorists. And we focus on the ability to use machines to detect items that we decided that present a risk to the flight. Well, that approach has proven wrong. On the morning of 9/11, it was proven wrong when Richard Reed did his attempted attack, and it once again has been proven a couple of days ago. I think that going back to the basic and understanding that we have to develop a new strategy that is based on a balance between trying to find the bad guys and focus our efforts on them. In other terms, determine who are the people that present a greater risk to the flight, and invest the best of our capability in making sure that they will not actually harm the flight or any other target.
So how do you achieve that?
Well, some people would say that the solution is the use of tactic that has been used in Israel for many years, that has been described as profiling. Obviously, the problem with this concept of profiling is that many people perceive profiling as a racial profiling. In other terms, that the whole focus is or should be on ethnicity or nationality, or even worse, the color of a person's skin. Obviously, this is wrong. I can say from my personal experience, having run security at Tel Aviv Ben Gurion Airport for 5 years, this airport was supposed to be attacked by a Palestinian or an Arab. Well, it was never attacked by one, but it was attacked by a group of Japanese terrorists, members of the Japanese Red Army, back in 1972 with 24 people dead. And it was attacked again in the mid-80s by a German terrorist with blue eyes and blonde hair, answering to the name Hugo Miller. So obviously, following the ethnical route is wrong. But there's a lot more out there that we can look at and that will help us determine a person's intention. There are elements of behavior, there are elements of intelligence, just as we have seen in this case here with the Nigerian terrorist. His name was already on the list. It was a matter of paying enough attention and using the right policy to make sure that that name will go down to the airport and will prevent this person from boarding a flight without being properly searched. And when I say properly searched, I mean beyond using a metal detection walk-through system. I am sure that with the proper security procedures, a person like the Nigerian terrorist would have been detected, the bomb would have been detected, and a lot of life would have been safer by doing that.